All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into 2 Kings.
Specifically, we'll be looking at chapter 13, verses 14 through 25.
Yeah, it's an interesting passage about a deathbed prophecy and
A somewhat underwhelming victory.
yeah, limited triumph is maybe a nice way of putting it.
Maybe.
But it's a story about Elisha.
One of the big prophets in the Old Testament.
Right, right. And we're going to be talking about King Jehoash and his interactions with Elisha and
What we can learn from this whole situation.
right, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Because this isn't just some dusty old story. It's got some surprising relevance for all of us.
Really gets you thinking about how we approach our own challenges and how we respond to opportunities.
So let's just jump right into it. So picture this. Elisha.
This powerful prophet,
Right, he's on his deathbed.
you'd think his influence is waning, but
Yeah, you would think.
here comes King Jehoash looking for guidance.
Because Aram is still a problem.
Always a thorn in their side.
Right, those pesky Arameans always causing trouble.
And what's interesting is how Jehoash addresses Elisha.
How's that?
He says, my father, the chariots and horsemen of Israel.
Wow. So it's like he's acknowledging Elisha's, past protection, right?
Exactly, recognizing his strength.
Yeah.
But there's also a hint of maybe desperation there.
Like a cry for help, almost.
Yeah, and Elisha, even in his weakened state, he doesn't offer some vague reassurance.
No.
He's got a very specific plan,
Oh.
a symbolic action for the king to carry out.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So what does he tell him to do?
He says, get a bow and some arrows.
Okay.
Then he tells Joash to open the window that faces east.
Towards Aram.
Exactly, and shoot an arrow.
Interesting.
But this isn't just any arrow, you see. Elisha declares it the Lord's arrow of victory, the arrow of victory over Aram.
Wow. So right away, you've got this tangible symbol of divine intervention.
It's a powerful declaration God is with them.
Right. But then Elisha gives Joash another instruction.
This is where it gets really interesting. He tells him to strike the ground with the arrows.
Okay. So Joash does it?
He does. He strikes the ground 3 times.
3 times.
And then he just stops.
And how does Elisha react to that?
He's not happy.
Really?
Furious, actually.
Wow. But he did follow the instructions, right? I mean, he shot the arrow, he hit the ground.
Well, yeah, but that's the point, isn't it? It's not about just going through the motions.
So it's not about disobedience exactly. It's more about
Like he's holding back, not fully committing.
kind of like doing the bare minimum.
Exactly. And Elisha lays it out pretty clearly. He says, you should have struck the ground 5 or 6 times. Then you would have defeated Aram and completely destroyed it. But now you will defeat it only 3 times.
So 3 strikes equals 3 victories.
It seems so.
But why that specific number? Why the anger?
Well, imagine a musician, right? They're asked to play a powerful chord, a huge resonant chord, and they only press down 2 of the 3 keys.
So they're playing something, but
It's not the full impact. It's missing something.
right. And that's kind of like Joash, maybe he's doing something, but
But not everything. Not giving it his all.
it's like he doesn't quite believe in the full victory.
Yeah, there's a lack of conviction there. He's hesitant.
And that makes me wonder, in my own life, how often do I do that?
I think we all do it to some extent.
Put in the minimum effort, you get some results and think, well, that's good enough.
But what if there's so much more?
Right. What if you just pushed a little harder?
What if those extra strikes, that extra effort, led to a breakthrough?
That's a little scary to think about, actually.
Why is that?
Well, it makes you think about all the areas where you might be holding back.
Like what?
Oh, that project I've been putting off.
Mm-hmm.
Or that relationship where I'm not really putting in the work.
You're just coasting.
Yeah. And this story, it's like a wakening call. It's saying partial effort, partial results.
And maybe you're missing out on the full potential.
Because, we might get some wins, like Joash and his 3 victories.
It could be so much more.
So then the question becomes, what does it actually look like to give something your all?
It's easy to say wholehearted obedience, but what does that mean practically?
Right, exactly. Like, what does that look like in everyday life?
Well, think about different areas.
Okay.
Let's say service. Volunteering your time.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just showing up when it's convenient?
Or are you giving it your all?
Putting in real effort, genuine care.
Okay, yeah, I see the difference.
Mm-hmm.
What about generosity?
It's not just about how much money you give. It's about
the heart behind it.
Right. Do you really want to help to make a difference?
In relationships?
Yeah, are you truly forgiving?
Not just saying the words, but
Really letting go?
working on that connection.
And what about personal growth?
Always a tough one.
Are you challenging yourself
Stepping outside my comfort zone.
and persevering even when it's hard?
So basically, not holding back.
Exactly.
And if you do that, you're saying the reward is
You unlock the full potential.
to get the complete victory.
Like Elisha promised.
Wow, that's powerful. It really is.
And it makes you think about Elisha himself, too.
In what way?
Well, he's on his deathbed, right?
Right.
He's physically weak.
But he's still leading.
Exactly.
Still giving guidance.
His spiritual authority, his vision, it's still strong.
It's a powerful reminder that leadership,
It's not about a title.
or even about physical strength
It's about faithfulness.
and commitment to something bigger than yourself.
With a purpose.
And that's encouraging for all of us, even if we
Right.
don't have some fancy leadership position.
Right, we all have influence.
In our families, at work, in our communities.
And our faithfulness can make a difference.
Our wholeheartedness can create victories for others,
Exactly.
even if we don't see them directly,
It's about leaving a legacy.
like Elisha did.
He mentored, he guided, he shared his wisdom,
So we should be doing the same,
passing on what we've learned,
sharing our faith.
planting seeds for the future.
It's about thinking long-term, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Not just about the immediate tasks, but the lasting impact.
And it makes me think about the importance of prayer.
And in the end, it's not about grand gestures.
It's about consistency,
Making faithful choices every day,
building character.
living out our values,
That's how we create a lasting impact.
like Elisha. His final act, it was small, but
It spoke volumes.
it showed his lifelong dedication.
So if we were to sum up this whole deep dive, what would you say the core message is?
That's a good question. I guess it's about, well, it's about obedience, but not just any obedience.
Wholehearted obedience.
Right. And leadership.
Faithful leadership.
So, obey fully, lead faithfully.
That about sums it up.
It's more than just a cool story from the past,
It's a mirror.
showing us our own tendencies to hold back.
To settle for less.
So the challenge is to not settle for those 3 strikes,
To push further.
to give it our all.
What are you holding back from?
What ground are you striking hesitantly?
What would it look like to approach that challenge, that relationship, that dream with your whole heart?
And what could happen if you did?
What victories might you achieve?
That's really powerful stuff to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into 2 Kings 13.
It's a passage that continues to resonate,
To challenge us,
to inspire us,
to encourage us to live more fully
more faithfully,
with our whole hearts.
and to leave a lasting impact on the world. We hope you'll take these insights to heart.
And consider how you can apply them to your own life.
Because in the end, it's not just about our own victories
It's about the legacy we leave.
and the difference we make in the lives of others.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time.